What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Mike J, aka Drop the Mic, where we accept all opinions from all demographics. We don't discriminate. Before we get into this hot topic and bring our special guests on, will you please all like, subscribe, and share the content? That'll be greatly appreciated. If you want to donate to the channel, the link is in the bio. Really appreciate that as well. Without further ado, got the brother DJ from DJ's Raw Uncut Truth on the building. Let's get it.
What's good? What's good? What's good? Today is a good day, and I'm not Ice Cube. How you doing, my brother, man? How you doing?
Good, man. Good, man. Blessed up, man. Blessed up, man. What you on, man? You doing all right?
Yeah, I just came back from a video with Coach Joe, who was talking about who runs the NBA. Now we're on your channel, Drop the Mic, talking about equal pay.
Yeah.
Does the WNBA deserve to get paid as much as the NBA? I want to ask you this. Why do NBA players get more money than the WNBA?
Well, see, here's the thing. A lot of people don't understand that process, and they look at it as, hey, women are not getting paid like men. And that's not really the case in this situation. This situation is different. And the reason why it's different is because it's a revenue thing. The WNBA does not have the revenue like the NBA. They don't have the marketing deals, the contracts, all of these things that contribute to what the players are receiving. So for example, when the NBA or the NFL or anybody signs these big TV deals, where they're always on the TV all the time. So because they're always on the TV, that's bringing in more viewers and bringing in more money to the NBA. Unfortunately, the WNBA doesn't have that backing, and it's a tricky situation because we should be supporting these females, we should be supporting these athletes, but we're not doing that. We're bringing all the attention to the men's sports, but we're not bringing enough attention, and that's part of that is on all of us. You know what I mean? But also a part of that is on these organizations and leagues like the NBA that can make a difference in advertisements and viewership and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, that's mainly the reason why they don't get paid. And you have a comparison from Sue Bird and LeBron James having the same championships, but it's their leagues are different when it comes to viewership.
Excellent point. I believe the WNBA, they have to do a good job of telling their star player's story, their personal life. People want to look up to people that are relatable, like LeBron James. LeBron James grew up in a single parent home. LeBron James grew up in poverty in Akron. LeBron James had to go house to house through his whole life. It was never easy for LeBron James until he met a coach who became a mentor when he went to St. Vincent, St. Mary's. See, they need to do that. It's more than just saying, hey, we're about empowerment. We're about ladies first, women first. It's got to be more than that message. What you think about that, my brother?
So here's the thing. I agree with that too. We have to, like, for example, LeBron James is really good about he's really good about shooting shout outs to the female athletes, the USA soccer team. He shot a shout out to them. He shot a shout out to the women's basketball, WNBA. He's always doing that. But like you said, we always got to do more. I just feel like we need to start really taking the next step forward. Like you said, it's more than just shout outs. We need to start bringing in these branding deals. We need to start like getting their names out there, telling their stories, because, let me give you a different angle on this. As a black man, we all have a story and it needs to be told, going through poverty, going through these trials and tribulations that hold us down. We have these stories and they need to be told. But the way it's being painted in the media is that these black boys are the only ones that have a story. But nah, these black females in all ethnicities as well have a story as well. and it needs to be told, but we're not helping them tell that story. We're kind of suppressing it.
Right.
And it's a good old boy system out here. And we need to stop suppressing these female athletes and people of color as well. We got to stop suppressing these things and start bringing more attention to it.
And shout out to Ark Reggie. He says, why guys got to also come to the rescue? Let them do more first. They help themselves, allow guys to help them. You do have a point, but there's a lot of people that are saying we support women. We do this. Right. But if you're really going to support, you're going to help market women athletics. You got to do more than just saying. That's what we're talking about with this discussion. Mm-hmm. It's all about actions, not words.
Correct. Yeah, because we for example, the NBA, shout out to J&J Video. The NBA made that deal with the when they all chose to not play last year for that amount of time because of the racial injustice. The NBA made that deal with the NBA players that they're going to start, doing all these contributions and bringing more awareness, all that kind of stuff. But it's not just racial injustice stuff, though. It's also this stuff right here, the politics within the sports system, because they have the ability to make these women look more marketable out there to the to the viewers. So they have the ability. Anybody, why you think we got marketing folks out here? That's what they do all day, every day. They have the ability to make that happen, but they're choosing not to because they have this golden boy, this golden standard, this golden league, NBA, NFL. These folks, they're the golden guys up there that they just want their name to be on top. But the product in the WNBA is just as good. Hell, an argument can be made. Females know how to box out better than damn the males. They always using their body.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I was watching Connecticut and Paige Beckers, and she got game. I know they lost to Arizona and got upset but Paige Beckers and the whole team, Gino Auriemma does a great job with fundamentals. They know how to shoot. They know how to do the little things right. And I had more fun watching that than watching Michigan versus UCLA. And shout out to Juwan Howard. He did a great job. But
right.
It just tell you, I'm a fan of good play. I'm a fan of dominance, just top-notch sports. That's what I'm a fan of. And MJ, question, how can the NBA help with the pay gap? I know they've been assisting with the NBA, but what can they do behind the scenes to give pointers that the WNBA could use to have a better product?
Like I said, they can advertise a little more than they are doing. The NBA, that's the golden standard. So we see it on the TV every day. They talking about it every day. When you look on ESPN First Take, when you look on Undisputed with Shannon Sharp and Skip Bayless, that's all they're talking about is the male sports. They don't talk too much about the female sports. So that's a lack of advertisement. So when you don't have that advertisement, people are not going to be as engaged into that product. But also we got to get more attendance and hype surrounding the league. If we're not getting people in the building, because if you look at the games before COVID, hell, the building looked just like it was COVID in the first place. When you look at the building before COVID, so it's like it's not that many people there. They only filling up the bottom three, like probably 5 rows. And not even really filling up. It's like every other seat you see. So it's not enough concessions. It's not enough because they're all, you got to think about concessions too. Those concessions, they mark up those prices. Man, they probably not even marking up the prices because it's not that many people. For the women's league. So it's a tricky subject, man, because we have the ability to make them on the same status as the NBA with the males. We have that ability, but we don't do that enough in the United States. We don't do that enough for our women that have birthed us into this world. We don't do that enough. And we got to start pushing them up just as much as we push ourselves up. Because if we just push ourselves up, we look selfish, independent, you know, all these negative words that I can think of. What you think about that though, DJ?
Yeah, like I'm gonna go back to what I said, like actions. We got to do more walking than talking. We got to break the mold, man. We got to change the game. They got to see it like this: if we help the WNBA, it's more than just money. It's finding ways to have better advertisement. There's potential in the WNBA. You don't have to dunk the ball all the time and be like freaking Vince Carter in his prime. There's good play. But what the WNBA has to do, they have to have a stronger CBA. They got to make sure when they're in the negotiating table, they get everything written that's beneficial for both. Also, let's go back with the revenue. You can't get good pay unless the revenue is there. There was a mini debate on Twitter. Someone was talking about the NBA players has a male perspective, so they can't relate. That's crock of shit. I'm gonna tell you why. Back in the day, especially black players, they weren't getting paid as much. They weren't getting the money that they were getting now. Most of them had to work 2 jobs. Earl the Pearl Monroe in the early 70s was an all-star and had to work 2 jobs. But once the CBA changed and once they had structure and really once Magic Johnson and Larry Bird came in and it was marketed well, the NBA took off. Remember back in the 70s and beyond, it was on tape delay. It'll take you the next day to watch the game, and you wouldn't know who won or lost unless the newspaper was ahead of the time.
Right.
So I don't want to hear that crap that men didn't earn it. Yes, they did. It took some time, but they marketed it right. Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, a rivalry, Lakers, Celtics. Look at the 70s and look at the 80s. Things changed. Right, and then later on, the Pistons. Then the 76ers with Dr. J. And then Michael Jordan came in and took it to a global game. And then when LeBron came in, he took it all over the place. That's what you have to do. Market your players. Let's go.
So before I say what I was gonna say, man, shout out to 704 Charlotte bound, man. We in here. Yes, we are, my brother. All right, so I just and I agree with that. I just think that we, like, for example, Magic Johnson. Don't he own the LA Sparks?
I think he has a percentage of it.
He has a percentage, but he still has something to do with the organization.
Right.
I love Magic Johnson. Good dude. But like, we got these players, former Hall of Famers that have these positions in these WNBA leagues, singular, that are not pushing it enough. And they have that ability to. See, we got to do our parts too. Because everything ain't, because we already know we in a good old boys world. And because we're in a good old boys world, we got to break those barriers. We got to break these things down. We're steady doing the same thing and talking about the same stuff, but we ain't doing enough. We're not doing enough. And Magic Johnson could come out literally, hey, we need to get attendance out here. He can go talk to the higher ups, even higher than him. We need to get these folks on the same level, because what they're missing is kind of like, for example, I'm gonna give you a good example. We have racism in the world, right? We have racism in the world. And when we have racism in the world, we miss out on making more money than we're making right now. So for example, we got if blacks, whites, Hispanics, whatever, Asian Americans, we all come together as one. You know how much money we would be making in the United States? So that's the same thing for this right now. If we come together as one, NBA, WNBA, NFL, I forgot the name of the league with the females playing football. But that just goes to show you that
Lingerie
lack of that.
football.
Yeah, but these things can be put at a higher level if we all come together as a team. It's a good old boy system. Folks are greedy, and we got to call it like we see it. You know what I'm saying?
Man, so true, my brother. So true, man. You hitting it on the nail, man. Question: does Sue Bird being tied with LeBron James validate her being paid as much as him? I went there. I went there.
So yeah, man, that's a good question. Yeah. So yes and no. So yes, because championships is what it's all about, right? It's all about championships. It's all about winning games. And she has done that. And because she has done that, she needs the same respect as LBJ. But where I gotta stop you at is it's a popularity contest. And the popularity contest means we gotta have the viewership. And they don't have the viewership. So she's not gonna get the same recognition. She's not going to get the same recognition as LeBron James. And I find it kind of offensive too. If you look at my thumbnail, LeBron James' 4 titles is gold and then her titles are silver. And we all know gold is worth more than silver. That sends a bad message. I don't think anybody caught that. And, I just think that we're not valuing our ladies like we're supposed to. And they're supposed to be valued probably more than us because they're the ones birthing us. So it's sad, man. What you think about that though, DJ? Because I'm really interested to hear your view.
Well, what Sue Bird has done is incredible, but let's keep it a buck. No one's at LeBron James level, and it's nothing against Sue Bird. Right. I do believe that Sue Bird, what she has accomplished, she deserves more recognition, more respect. Being a champion is not easy. For her to win 4 of them things, it is truly remarkable. But LeBron James, he deserves every single penny. No matter if you like LeBron or not, he has changed the way we see the NBA players are getting paid more. It's more player movement now, freedom. Even though the NBA still has quote unquote politics and other shady stuff they do. LeBron James has really changed the game. And if you talk to a player who just got the bag this year or any other past years, they're thanking LeBron because now they have more money to support their family for generations. So that's why I can never compare these other athletes with LeBron right now. Like if it's a soccer player like Ronaldo or Messi, that'll be an argument for it. That'll be an argument because they've generated international interest and making boatloads of money. They have made the sport popular. TV contracts are going bananas. Yeah, that's who I would compare. But not Sue Bird, because she's changing the woman game, but the woman game is not really as global. That's my only difference.
Right. Shout out to J&J Video, man. She said, thank you for making this stream. Absolutely. This is very important. This is a very important topic because when it comes down to the ladies, we got to start bringing them into the fold. We get not just ladies, but diversity in general. You know what I mean? So, but DJ, I got a question for you, man.
Right.
What makes this pay gap in the WNBA different from a job in corporate America?
That's a good question.
Because in my personal opinion, it's different. So in corporate America, with the good old boys, they actually have the ability to pay these women. They have the ability to, because these women are doing the same jobs as these males. For example, I may be a logistics specialist. with the master's degree, and she may be a logistics specialist with a master's degree. We both got the same GPA, but they're gonna pay him more because he's a male. Wrong idea. And they have the ability in the back end to make that happen more so than the NBA, where they don't have or the WNBA, where they don't have the revenue like the NBA. So
Right.
that's the issue that I've been seeing with that, because corporate America, like I said, they have the money, they can do it,
Right.
You know, what you think about that though, brother?
That's a good question. I'm glad you asked that question, my brother. Since corporate America, men and women work together in corporate America, and they have the same pay system where in regards to what they earn. So let's say you work for Wells Fargo, the company is getting such and such billions of dollars. Both man and woman works for that same company. So of course a woman will have, there's no need for equal pay discussions because it's already set in stone on their what they receive, what type of work they put in. Now, what makes it different from the NBA and the WNBA is that the WNBA does not, like you said, have the revenue like the NBA. So it should never be a discussion that they should get paid like the NBA. The NBA, again, is a global game. They're getting billions of dollars, and they're about to get even boost in TV contracts. The WNBA is not getting TV contracts.
Right.
And shout out to 704 about Charlotte. He said the same for Floyd Mayweather. All the fighters are getting money. See, that's what LeBron is doing.
That's true. That's true. Because you know, and I want to make sure I say this because, you know, LeBron, my favorite player, and I love what he's done with his I Promise stuff and everything, the voting stuff. He's done a great job. But he's only one person. Now, they say all it takes is one person to make something happen, but some things are a little far-fetched than others. And the man can't do it alone. He can't do it alone. It takes some power. And we got a lot of powerful folks out here. We got a lot of powerful folks out here that can contribute to this cause to bring more awareness to the gap in pay. But like I said, though, with the ladies, though, for WNBA, is it's going to be a hard one, though, because like, you know, we got to find a way to bring revenue in. We got to find a way to get these big contracts like the NFL, like the NBA. And it's going to take these higher ups that are not trying, you know, they got to see the bigger picture, but they're not going to see the bigger picture because they're going to be like, this brand right here is doing so good. You know, I don't want to touch it, you know, and you know, it's a selfish world out here. We are so selfish, man, in the US. We're so selfish. We're always thinking about ourselves, but not the others. And, you know, it's sad, man. It really is. You know, I'm one of those folks, you know, I hear you on your show every day, DJ. When you come on the show, you're always talking about positive things, you know, bringing people together, shouting out folks. You shouted me out, and hell, I only got about 2-second followers, you know. So that's why that's why I was like, you know, you still been shouting me out, and that's what I respect about you, is you using your platform. You may not have 100K subscribers, but you still shouting folks out, and you trying to be positive. You ain't calling people out. You ain't trying to be disrespectful. You showing love to everyone, trying to put everyone on, and I appreciate that from you, brother.
Well, thank you, my brother, man. That's what it's all about. As people, we gotta think for each other and not for our own interests at times. Yeah, we want to get a benefit from these channels. We want to grow these channels and get monetized. We all get that. But we could all have a seat at the big table. Better yet, we could create our own seat at the big table and do things our way. And shout out to J&J Video. She had a great question. She said the WNBA needs to start going to private investors, the Oprah Winfrey and Ellen DeGeneres of the world. Yeah, that makes a difference. Upgraded marketing.
So you know something I thought about what women can do, though. Now that she brought that up, that's a great point. What women can do is stop letting us men control your destiny in those realms. So we need to stop letting us men have a seat at your table right now, because we haven't even let y'all have a seat at ours. And that's just, I'm just being real. So if we're not letting y'all have a seat at ours, how are y'all gonna let us have a seat at your table and control your fate? So we gotta take accountability on our parts, and so do females. You gotta take accountability, because if we're not addressing the issue at hand, why are we having these issues? Well, there's males at the higher ups that are not prioritizing y'all. So how about we do for ourselves and create these platforms for ourselves, and then once we create these platforms for ourselves and establish ourselves, how about we do better than the people that we saw do us wrong? Let's not repeat the same thing. It's like in the world right now, people are being fed knowledge from negative folks, from people being racist, whatever the case may be, and all it does is keep on trending, just keeps on trending, instead of stopping that ground right there. Like, hey, that ain't how we gonna act this way. We're not gonna act this way at all. We're gonna act a little different. We're gonna be better. We're gonna lead by example. Nobody's leading by example in the world. We gotta lead by example and start putting our queens on a pedestal and letting them be up there with us. And that's what it comes down to, my brother.
Man, you were spot on with that. Self-sufficiency.
Yeah.
Creating power within your own. So
Right.
the WNBA is a women's game. So wouldn't it be best, like J&J Video said, get the most powerful women to support it? Oprah Winfrey, Ellen DeGeneres, Jeff Bezos' wife. She got money from that divorce. She got money. She could help. And
sure.
If that happens, the women's game will be powerful.
Right.
Now, I've seen women, you go see in these comment sections on Twitter, talking about, we got to support women. We got to do this. But I bet you they're not at a WNBA game buying tickets.
Right.
Matter of fact, they're probably buying tickets to a Laker game.
Right.
Yeah, we can't be all raw and don't walk it like we talk it. And like J&J Video said, they need to also use social media more. And yes, DJ is amazing. He helped me go from 15 to over 100 subs. Thank you, my sister. That's what it's all about, man. You see how in new media on my channel, we market everyone else's YouTube channel, and they grow. They grow. And that's what it's all about. Using your platforms to create something better for someone else.
Shout out to Art Reggie. He said, question. So he said, is that guy help them make their own table, or guys share the table with them? I mean, so we haven't even tried either, honestly. It really doesn't matter. Whichever, we got to try something. We can help them, but we're not helping them. That's, if we help them, we have the power to help them, but we're not helping them. But share at the table, absolutely. Because the thing is, we're starting to get more diversified. You got female referees in the NBA and NFL now. That's beautiful. We got to start getting more diversified. If we're not being diverse, we don't have a different idea or perspective on a subject matter. We got to continue to be diverse and utilize our queens, because sometimes us guys, we just think we get frustrated quick, or we will start thinking all over the place. But females, they kind of keep their thoughts in mind. Then you got this other narrative, oh, they're going to be weak, or da, 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 da. Well, you know what? Sometimes dudes can act weak, and they can have female tendencies, but we don't say nothing about that, do we?
Beta
so
males.
We got yeah. So that's basically, beta males, right? We want to act tough, but we're really not like that.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. Everybody has emotions, and we have to stop acting like women are the only ones with emotions. But literally, some dudes act like they on their period as well. So
exactly, man. Shout out to Paya, man. He supports the channel, man. Thank you for supporting Drop the Mic, man. Drop the Mic will be talking about news, sports, everyday life, He's gonna have all types of videos. This is definitely a channel that's on the rise.
Right. Yeah, I just want to DJ, I appreciate you coming on the channel today, brother. To all the subscribers, thank y'all for subscribing. If you can like, share the content, I really appreciate it. And you know, if you want to make donations, the link is in the bio. Thank y'all so much for attending today, man, and look forward to seeing y'all soon. Much love.
Peace.